So excitement is a huge trigger for aggression. And if another dog thinks that I can't control the rest of the pack, in this case, a very happy-go-lucky Labrador, then they will become more reactive in other ways that will snowball out of control back to where she was. So I'm really taking my time here with Leo. I'm really trying to prove that I can control this wild, happy lab. And it does prove to be more challenging than I expected, but I put in the time. You put in the time for a few days, and then I'm telling you, the excited dogs get it, and it becomes so much easier. It's so crucial. Don't rely just on correction. Make sure that your presence matters to your dogs. So the idea of this exercise is every step of the way, the dogs have to be settled. So I settle the dog, I go to the next step, open the canister. Dog gets up, reset the dog, calm them down, back up, open the canister again. So each phase is taken step by step, and I do not move on to the next step unless the dogs are settled. No, Leo's not calm, but he is settled, and he is a lab. So maybe we'll make a few allowances. It's probably a really bad idea. Other trainers are cringing at that comment. But for this being his first time, this is really good. As you can see, the other dog, she's a pro at this already because she's been worked with really intensely on this because she's the one with the food aggression. But both dogs' energy needs to be under control by me. I need to prove it to everybody, to Arbor, to Leo, that I can do it. That's the moment where Leo couldn't handle it anymore. So instead of just giving the food bowl, so I reset him. And then instead of just giving the food bowl to him, I am really going to make everybody work, myself included. I want to be able to turn my back on the dog. See, Arbor even got up too. I want to be able to turn my backs on the dogs, and the dogs don't follow me. This is my food until I give it to them. And I'm not saying that from some alpha dominant attitude. It's simply from an impulse control, okay? If they can't do this, if they can't just learn to not follow me, that's all I'm asking. Don't follow me. If I can't get them to believe that, then I'll never be able to control any reactivity that happens between the two of them. Or in other instances with Arbor, that little pit bull mix. And so that's what I want you to keep in mind, is that if this seems like a lot of work, it is. But it gets easier and easier and easier each day that you do it. And then you got to find new challenges to prove to your dogs that you can control their energy, because that's what it's about when you have a pack of dogs, especially if one of those dogs has behavioral issues. So again, there's no Ecollar right now. Leo's not even Ecollar trained. He's got cancer. That's why he's losing his fur. Just FYI for anybody wondering what the heck is going on there. But all of this is through basic energy and body language. Now let's do some problem solving. How could I have made this easier? First of all, I think I'm walking a little fast. In my head, I wanted to walk naturally, but I think I'm walking a little fast. It could have made it easier if I walked a little slower. The other thing I could have done is, and maybe I do eventually because I have to, is backing away from Leo a few times before turning my back. That would have been an in-between to help him understand maybe a little faster than me just resetting him with body language, turning my back. I would have reset him with the moving in, the spatial pressure, the body language, then backed up 3-4 steps before turning. But I think I just really wanted to drill this to death, and I don't mind doing that. It worked. You just have to trust me. We'll get there eventually. But I could have probably sped it up faster by when I faced him, backing up a few steps, then turning. Just a few of those repetitions, I might have been able to turn right away. Who knows? Anyway, it's all in hindsight. Now, once he saw me do, I think 3 or 4 passes, and he didn't follow me. So now he gets to have the food. I like to give the food to the dogs. Do you see that? Put it on the ground. They don't get up. Then I say break. I give the bowl to them. That way I don't build drive. Okay, so that's what I was doing right there after being able to make some successful passes without him getting up. Now, I was surprised how excited Arbor was. She was so calm and I shouldn't say calm. She was collected. And then she struggled with me putting the food bowl down. That was interesting. I stay in the middle. I do not move because I don't know if Leo's going to try to hop bowls, and that's not appropriate. I wouldn't blame Arbor if she did something at that point. So that's my personal opinion. So I gotta pay attention. And I'm working on out with Arbor while Leo's eating. So that's what you're seeing right there, is I asked her to back away from the food bowl. Then I felt like she was so focused on the food bowl, we'd do some walking around it. And what happened when I walked away? Did you see that? Leo went towards the food bowl. So I'm like, crap, I could start a fight. Instead of trying to help Arbor control herself, I could actually start a fight. So I can't move away from her food bowl. Leo can't handle that yet, clearly. Leo the lab can't handle us walking away from the food bowl. So I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. What should I do? Should I just work on my out with Arbor and stay in the middle? I mean, that's fine. I could back tie Leo. That way I could properly work with Arbor. What I ended up doing is a separate video of working Arbor around the food bowl when Leo wasn't around. Now, I did this on purpose. Leo didn't go for, you see that? I'm waiting to see Arbor's reaction to Leo getting close to her food bowl. I want you guys to know I felt in complete control of the situation. Like, I could have stopped Arbor on a dime without leash. I felt very confident about that. That's why I was like, okay, let's let Leo challenge her a bit and creep up to the food bowl. And Arbor did great. I was really happy to see that. And then when I saw her doing really great, I sent Leo back. But clearly I tried to do this for a few minutes, and it was just too hard. It was just too hard to work Arbor around the food bowl with Leo around. So I just went to testing. What am I doing now? I'm testing Arbor. I'm going to pet Leo. I'm going to have Arbor back away from her food bowl while I'm petting Leo, and Leo's close to the food bowl. These are all challenges. Let me be clear. If you don't have complete control over your dog, if you are afraid to use physical body language to stop a fight before it even happens, if that doesn't come naturally to you, don't do this. And that's okay. Keep your dogs separate, back tie them for safety, and don't even worry about it. You'll still do so much great impulse control work. You'll still have such a safer environment if you do everything else I mentioned. But you don't have to test your dog without a leash, just to be super clear. That's a trainer's job, if you even want that, if they even feel it's necessary. That's all I'm doing. I'm testing Arbor. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave you, even if you don't have food aggression at home, I am a huge believer in practicing these tactics if you have multiple dogs in the home. And I hope you learned something, and I hope you got some ideas from it to challenge your dogs.